Okay, good morning. All right, here we go. Practice problem number 1. You bought 5 winter melons for $10 each. You sold them for $12, $12, $10, $9, and $13. How much money did you make or lose when you did this? Okay, do you understand the problem?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what we're going to think about doing here. What's the problem, first of all?
Problem is you have to, well, we gotta add up 12, 12, 10, 9, and 13.
And then what do we have to do after that?
Figure out how much money did you make or did you lose.
Okay.
So we got, so we got 5 of the winter melons for $60, for $50, all of them.
Okay. Tell you what, instead of erasing, since this other whiteboard is actually blank right now, I didn't write the other problem in it because we were doing some other stuff. Okay. So how much did your winter melons cost you when you bought them? Get this in the picture, sorry. $10 each.
$10 each.
Okay, and how many did you buy?
5 of them.
Okay. So what do you know?
So I know I spent $50.
Okay, you spent $50. Okay, write that down.
No, 500 cents. I was gonna write.
Yeah, well, $50 is not 500 cents.
Right.
How much did you spend? $50. Okay. So the normal way you put the dollar sign first. So $50 you would write with the dollar sign and then 50. And it's weird because you read that $50, but the dollar sign is first.
It should be $50.
Yeah, but when you write 50 cents, you write 50 and then the cent sign at the end. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Okay. So let's. Okay. So your watermelons, or not watermelons, what are they called?
They're called winter melons in Princess and Zombies.
Okay, so $10 each. 5 of them, 5 winter melons. So you spent $50. Okay. Now, how much money did you make? How much money did you bring in when you sold them? How are we going to figure that out? Do you remember what it was?
12, 12, 10, 9, and 13.
Okay. So what do we have to do with that?
Well, I have to do 12 plus 12 plus 10 plus 9.
Well, why don't you write it down here? Try to write it straight along this line. 12 plus 12. Plus 10 plus 9 plus 13. Okay?
These people got them a great defense against zombies.
They're a great defense against zombies.
So this 12 plus 12 is 24.
Okay? If you want to write, you can write down below here if you want.
Yeah. So this is the same as 24 plus 10 plus 9 plus 13.
Okay?
So, and 24 plus 10 is 34. And that is solution. So, 24 plus 10 plus 9 is 43. So, right? Yep, 43. And then 13. Our answer is 56. After like the dollar sign after.
Okay?
Now what?
What do you mean now what?
We gotta figure out, so since we spent 50
Yeah?
and sold them for $56.
Okay.
So
What was the question the problem was asking?
how much money did you make or did you lose?
Okay. How much money did you make or lose?
We spent 50 and then got 50. And then got an extra 6.
Okay. spent 50. You received, you got 56. I don't know, $6. How funny. You spent 50 and you got 56. So how much money did you make or lose when you did all this?
I think you made 56. So look, I think you made just $6.
Okay, why do you think you made just $6?
Well, you minus 50.
50. You went minus 50.
And then plus, well, not 156.
Plus 56. Yeah. Okay. Which is $6.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna look. I want to look at this just one other quick way. Okay, so that's very good. That's the right answer. And the other way to look at. Okay, here we are. So, for the next thing. So usually we do a second problem, but here the homework problem actually requires us to know something that we don't already know. So I want to talk about it real quick. It's the area of triangles. Now we've already talked a little bit about area of squares. Let's see if you remember this, because we only talked about it once. So let's say you have a square that is 1 wide and 1 tall. So it's 1 this way and 1 this way. What's the area of that square?
Area is 4.
How did you figure that out?
Because there's going to be 1 here.
Ah, okay. That's called the perimeter. That's going around it. Area is how much total fits inside it. And the way you figure that out is you figure out how wide it is and how tall it is, and you multiply them together. So in this case, the area is 1 times 1, which is just 1.
1 times 1 is 1.
1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so going all the way around it, that's the perimeter. Walking around it is the perimeter. How much fits inside is called the area. So let me give you another one. This is for practice. What if you had a square and the side was 3 wide and 3 tall? What would the area be?
Would be 9. 3 times 3 is 9.
3 times 3 is 9. Okay, very good. Okay, now for a special trick. What if instead of being a square, it was a rectangle? So let's say it was 10 wide and 4 tall. What do you think the area would be?
I think the area would be 40.
Okay, why do you think that?
10 times 4 equals 40.
Okay, so why should rectangles have the same area as squares? Same area formula.
Well, because squares are rectangles.
Squares are a special kind of rectangle, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
One thing we could do is we could divide this up into squares.
That is
If we wanted to. Okay, here, let me divide it up into a square, because this is what we're going to do in a second. 4, 4. So I get 2 squares, and I'm left with 2 here, right? But I could just divide this in half, so it would be 2 like this. So I can divide my rectangle up into a bunch of squares. Here's a 4 by 4 square. And what's the area of that? What's an area of a 4 by 4 square?
16.
Okay, 16. And then here I have a 4 by 4 square. What's the area of that? You see?
It's 16. It's 16 again.
16 again. Now here's a 2 by 2 square. What's the area of a 2 by 2 square? 4. And what's the area of this 2 by 2 square?
And a 4.
4. And what does 16 plus 16 equal?
32.
And 32 plus 4?
36.
36 plus 4?
Is 40.
40, which is the answer we got before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so the reason rectangles have the same area formula as squares is you can just divide them up into squares. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the area of a triangle. So first we're going to look at a special kind of triangle. Let's say this is 2.
This is not a triangle.
And this is 2. Yeah, the triangle I'm going to look at divides the square in half. It's half the square. So we're going to look at this triangle down here. So it's 2 wide and 2 tall, but it's not a square, it's just a triangle. So what do you think the area of this triangle is going to be?
It could be 4. But it doesn't look like it's going to be 4.
Why don't you think it'll be 4?
Because this whole square, how much fits inside it is 4.
Right, how much fits inside the whole square is 4. So what do you think, how much do you think would fit
2.
inside that? Okay, why?
Well, it's half of the square.
It's half of the square. That's exactly right. So in this case, the area is 2 equals 2, which is 1/2 of, is this even in the camera? Yeah, it's 1/2 of the square. And that's kind of a neat thing to know. So what this tells us is the formula for an area of a special kind of triangle, a right triangle, which is a triangle that goes, which has that 90-degree angle in it.
Yeah.
Okay. You take how wide it is, times it by how tall it is, and then you divide by 2, because you only get half the square. So what if I had a triangle? What if I had a triangle that was 4 wide and 3 tall? Okay. How much area does that have?
4 times 3 divided by 2.
Okay. What is that?
So 4 times 3 equals 12 divided by 2 equals 6.
Okay. Right. This has an area of 6. And now I'm going to show you an amazing thing. That for any triangle, here's what I'm going to show you. For any triangle, the area equals what they call the base, which is the part across the bottom,
Yeah.
times the height. What do you think height means?
How tall it is.
How tall it is, divided by 2.
Awesome.
Okay? Okay? For any triangle.
And it's as big as the entire universe.
Okay, yeah, even a triangle as big as the entire universe. Okay, so here we have a triangle,
Whoa.
and let's say, it's going to be hard to make this work exactly right.
This is a 2-in-1. There's 3. It could be.
Right. So here's a triangle, and we don't know, but how tall is this triangle? Do you know how to figure out how tall a triangle is?
No.
Okay. So we look at the highest point on the triangle,
Yep.
and we just, we would just put a ruler there, and we would measure how tall it is. So imagine this was a building, and we just had a ruler that went from the ground all the way up to the top.
Ooh.
That's how tall it is. So how tall it is isn't necessarily equal to one of the sides, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this might be 5, and this might be 13, and let's say it was 12 tall, just for fun. Okay? And maybe this was 9. I don't know, maybe this side was 15.
Whoa.
Okay? So originally we had this triangle. How long is it from here to here?
9 plus 5 is 14.
Right. So the area of this triangle, we already knew how to calculate right triangles, right? So we would say the area of this triangle is 9 times 12 divided by 2,
Yeah.
plus the area of this triangle, which is 5 times 12 divided by 2. Well, do you know what 9 times 12 is?
108.
How'd you figure that out?
Because 10 times 12 equals 120. Because times 10 you just add 0.
Okay, what did you write? You wrote 10 times 2 is 120. Okay, so 9 times 12 is 108. Very, very good, sweetie. And what's 108 divided by 2?
It's 54.
54 is the area of this triangle. What's 5 times 12?
It's half of 120. It's 60.
60. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. So the area of our whole big triangle, the whole thing, is 84.
Awesome. Homework problems.
All right, so the important thing to remember for your homework problem is that the area of a triangle is you have to figure out how long it is across the bottom and then how tall it is.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so your homework problem is Olympiad. Uh-oh, where's the book? I moved over here.
How do you go over there?
Olympiad 57.
Where's the 60? Yeah.
Number 1 and number 3. Okay.
Awesome.
Ready? Olympiad 57, problem number 1, problem number 3. Great job today, honey.